Hello, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining me once again here on Talk and Fight for another episode of Boxing News Today. We are going to go around the world with a variety of different stories, including the one that starts us off coming out of Trois-Rivières in Canada. This is a long time coming, I think. The official weigh-in was held yesterday for tonight's fights in the inaugural pro boxing event card at the Videotron Coliseum in Trois-Rivières, Three Rivers, in Canada. That's in Quebec, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Presented by Miso Ju and co-promoted by Vivant Michel, that's GYM, Jim, and Pro Bellum, in collaboration with Deacon Sports and Entertainment. And the main event for the vacant WBC Continental America's Super Welterweight Championship is Michael Zewski, who's 35-2 with 23 knockouts, fighting out of Trois-Rivières, going up against Arlos Ocambo. He's 32-1 with 20 knockouts. He's fighting out of Baja, California, Mexico. Both of them weighed in at 153 pounds. The co-feature, a welterweight clash, features Arthur Bayarslanov, who's 9-0. He's fighting out of Toronto by way of Russia. He's going against Roberto Verdugo, 10-3-1 with 4 knockouts, and he's fighting out of Sinaloa, Mexico. So for our sports fans over in Quebec, congratulations. That's going to be a great show. A few hours drive outside of Montreal, but there's a great lineup of fighters. And for more information on that card, please go to our friends over at boxing247.com. Elsewhere around the world, we see that there are some more weights reported in from a fight come to you from Tepic, Mexico, where Salvatore Tapia is going toe-to-toe against Emiliano Cruz. As I've said before, that's taking place at Palenque de la Feria in Tepic on the 24th of March. The official weigh-in was held yesterday for today's fight, courtesy of RJJ Boxing, and to be held in Mexico, shown on UFC Fight Pass. The pro boxing event is one of the highlights of the 40th Nayarit Festival, which is celebrated between March 10th and the 27th, displaying the cultural identity of Nayarit and the indigenous community, and also providing entertainment by offering regional artists at national and international events. It attracts between 20,000 and 30,000 people each day of the festival. And this is certainly a card that will bring a lot of fans into that particular city. The boxing event is presented by Roy Jones Jr., as I said, RJJ Boxing Promotions, in association with De La O Promotions, World Cup Boxing Series, and Team Cruz Promotions. The main event, by the way, as I said, features Salvatore Tapia, who's 12-3-1 with 10 knockouts, fighting out of Nayarit, Mexico. He weighed in at 141 pounds. Emilio Lethal Cruz, 13-3 with 12 knockouts, fighting out of Baja, California, Mexico, 140 pounds. And the co-feature of that particular card is in the light heavyweight division, Lester Martinez, who's undefeated, 10-0 with 9 knockouts, fighting out of Guatemala City in Guatemala. He's going toe-to-toe against Jaime Lopez, 9-5 with 4 knockouts, fighting out of Nayarit, Mexico, who weighed in, by the way, at 175 pounds. So a couple of big boys going in that light heavyweight clash. As I said, other fighters on that card can be found on the boxing247.com website. Moving along, we see that there were some other weights provided to us from Newcastle, where Lewis Whitson is going toe-to-toe against Dejan Zlaticanin. Lewis Ritson was roared on by his supporters when he came face-to-face with Dejan Zlaticanin at the weigh-in ahead of Pro Bellum Throwdown in Newcastle. That'll be tomorrow night, the 25th of March, at the Utilita Arena. Ritson headlines the big night of boxing at the arena, which also sees a standout amateur, Pat McCormack, make his highly anticipated professional debut, and the atmosphere as a local hero hit the scales was a taste of what is to come on Friday. McCormack, who faces a late change of opponent, features as the co-main event, with Troy Williamson defending his British super welterweight title on a packed card. UK fight fans can watch the action live on Eurosport's linear channels, Discovery Plus, and Eurosport app, with the fights also being shown around the world on various platforms. And it all starts local time, 9 p.m. The main event, as I said, features Louis Ritson, who's 22-2. He weighed in at 10 stones. Dejan Zlaticanin, 24-3, weighed in at 9 stones, 13 pounds. In the co-main event, a 6-round welterweight contest, we see Pat McCormack making his debut, going toe-to-toe against Justin Menzies, who's 5-5-1. As I said earlier, in that British super welterweight title, going 12 rounds, will be Troy Williamson, 17-1 with 11, weighed in at 11 stones, going against Mason Cartwright, 17-2-1, weighed in at 10 stones, 13 pounds and 12 ounces. Good stuff. Elsewhere, you're going to see Mark Dickinson go up against Peter Kramer, Thomas Ward go up against Alexis Kabor, Ben Rees go up against Greg O'Neill, Joe Laws up against Alexei Tutaryov, Robert Ismay against Christian Adjufak, Joe Maposa against Santiago El Ustibio, Stephen Sayer against Daryl Sharp, Alex Fowle against Konstantin Alexandrov, and one more round, a 4-round lightweight contest between Adam Cope, who's 3-0, against Johnny Phillips, who's 5-9. A great night of boxing over in Newcastle, and good to see it's being broadcast on various channels and around the world. Speaking of around the world, we're going to jet down to Ecuador, where they've made an announcement. The brackets are set, and Team USA now knows their potential path to stand atop the medal podium in Ecuador at the 2022 AMBC Elite Championships, as competition begins today. 2021 Elite Men's World Champion Jamal Harvey, fighting out of Maryland, will be the first American to take the ring as he faces Mexico's Miguel Fernando Vega Barrios in the day's first session. Barrios competed at the 2021 World Championships, where he advanced to the quarterfinals. But this will be Harvey's first bout since he won his gold medal in Serbia last year. Harvey's World Championship teammate Jonathan Mansour, fighting out of San Diego, California, will also take to the ring during the day's opening sessions. The lightweight will step into the ring against Manuel Fubas out of Puerto Rico. 2022 USA Elite National Champion Emilio Garcia, fighting out of Laredo, Texas, will make his Elite International debut during the day's second session against Jose Manuel Villafara Fori, fighting out of Colombia. Fori represented Colombia at the 2019 and 2021 Elite World Championships. Joining Garcia in the evening session will be 3-time world champion Jajara Gonzalez, fighting out of Montclair, California, who will be returning to international competition for the first time since 2018. Gonzalez will go head-to-head against Beatriz Viviana of Mexico. Welterweight Akira Skook out of Boston, Massachusetts, will also be making her international debut. Skook will be taking to the ring during the day's second sessions against Stephanie Aguino out of Puerto Rico, and she's the 2017 AMBC Elite Championship silver medalist. The 2022 USA Boxing Elite National Champion Morel McCain out of Cleveland, Ohio, will close out the day's competition with her bout against Dominican Republic's Maria Hernandez. Hernandez competed at the 2020 Olympic Games, where she finished 5th. Some good stuff. Team USA, by the way, is guided by USA Boxing head coach Billy Walsh out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. National Development Coach Chad Wiggle, also out of Colorado Springs. National Strength and Conditioning Coach Jose Blanco, as well as assistant coaches Christine Lopez and Timothy Nolan. This year's AMBC Championships has brought close to 200 boxers from 25 different countries to compete for gold. These championships also mark the first time prize money will be awarded to the medalists. For the complete listing of Session 1 and Session 2 on day 1, as I've described them though earlier, you can go to the boxing247.com website. Right, elsewhere, we see that Dean Sutherland offers up a few comments about his recent fight, his victory. He said, I'm my own worst critic. The top Scottish welterweight moved to 13-0 on March 11th with a shutout points victory, including a cracking 5th round knockdown over compatriot Corey McCulloch. That was held at the Aberdeen Beach Ballroom. Corey, 4-2-1, stepped in at late notice to face Dean, with both men struggling to find opponents for the show. And underdog McCulloch emerged a happier man after 10 rounds of action, after putting in a battling display and managing to hold his own with a highly touted opponent. Sutherland and McCulloch had sparred countless rounds previously, but were determined to put their friendship aside ahead of the bout, insisting on all business in the ring. A couple of weeks on from the night, and Dean chats about his performance and the future, and gives his thought on British champion Iko Usman's upcoming title defense. Quick quote regarding his showing: "I give myself 3 out of 10. Wow, that's not so good. But I guess he's got lots of room to improve. Right. Let's have a quick look here as we go around the world for other people who are making news and headlines. Tommy Frank talks title defense. Keenan, Wainwright, and big fights is the headline. He's talking about an upcoming show on Fight Zone called Lord of the Flies. All right, has to take place in Sheffield, England. Sheffield Tommy Frank will defend his British flyweight title for the first time on Sunday, April 3rd at Rotherham's Magna Centre. And that's in Rotherham, England, not Sheffield. The 28-year-old faces Doncaster's Craig Derbyshire, who he beat in 2018 for the Central Area Super Flyweight title. Craig is sporting an 8-28-3 record with 2 knockouts. It may look a bit patchy, but on closer inspection, he's been in the away corner for most of his fights. He's vastly experienced, is in the form of his life, winning 3 of his last 4 and claiming the English Super Flyweight belt in a huge upset win over the highly rated Joseph Maposa. You can hear an interview on boxing247.com with Tommy, as I said, as he talks about the Craig fight coming up, his desire for bigger fights, and why stablemate Keenan Wainwright is the man to be feared. Right on. Okay, elsewhere, we see that Kiko Martinez and Josh Warrington are preparing for battle, and here are some of their press conference quotes. This fight's taking place at the First Direct Arena in Leeds, England on March 26th. Kiko Martinez had this to say: "I'm confident because, as I said last time, I was going to become world champion, and I did it. I said I was going to beat Kid Galahad within the distance, and I did. The same will happen on Saturday. I will beat Josh Warrington within the distance. Maybe he's too confident and doesn't understand he's facing Kiko Martinez." Josh Warrington replied, "I'm very excited. I had a few set sunbeds and my hair is looking on point, suit on. It's a good occasion. The sun's out. Kind of reminds me of 4 years ago when I first became world champion. Same kind of energy. I feel like the city is excited for Saturday night because they know what's to come. World Championship will be staying in Leeds. I'm very grateful for Kiko to giving me this opportunity, but the belt is staying here on Saturday night." He goes on to say, "I must have upset him in some way because he demanded this fight. I've said it in many interviews. It's how the sport works. It goes in circles. We were meant to be sparring partners for the Lara rematch. It's funny he's gone on to win a world title and his first defense is against me. He's confident and I'm sure he would have trained hard, but I'll be ready for everything he brings on Saturday night." I'm sure he will be. On that fight card, by the way, is also one of our favorites who we report on often, Ebony Bridges fighting. And she said, "It's absolutely unreal to be a co-main event fighting in Leeds for a world title. I feel so grateful. Cecilia coming over here to fight me. I'm just so excited about this fight. I've been excited about having this before it's even happening. I won this fight because I knew it was going to be a great fight, as in a fan favorite kind of fight. Having the world title on the line just makes everything even more exciting. Moving over here and doing my camp here with Mark Tibbs has been amazing. We definitely gelled well. And I think I've definitely changed his opinion, how women train for our mindsets. I'm really excited to be around Mark Tibbs and the whole family. First female world champion." Fair enough. And as I said, she's going up against Maria Roman. And she had this to say: "It's going to be a total war on Saturday. I think it'll be great for all boxing fans, in particular female boxing fans. It's going to be another successful defense for me on Saturday night." And we all know what Ebony Bridges looked like after her last fight. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one as well. And that's all the news fit to print today. This being Friday, it's a busy day for us here on Talkin' Fight. Hope you join us later on at 4 o'clock with Mike Orr and Cedric Ben for Knuckle Up, and also at 7 o'clock for the Friday night panel. Thank you very much. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.